I can't help it.
No try to shield.
I can't help it.
He's shaving and deal. They're searching for heels. On a high deal.
Outstanding, Sean.
Thanks. You should see that. I'm naked right now.
Man getting bit by an alligator screaming.
Swallow this.
Welcome back, everybody, to part 2 of our Christmas season special. If you watched part 1, Jack Frost, we appreciate you checking that out, because now we're getting into part 2, which is Gingerdead Man.
Gingerdead Man, baby.
That's right. The 2005 picture from Charles Band. One of the most...
It was actually a movie. I believe it was a motion.
Shit. Well, that is one of
Yeah,
the...
it is a motion
Dude,
picture.
Zach must
Yeah,
have been
you just call it a picture.
Yeah, Zach must have been on some serious drugs. He's like, man, this picture's talking, bro.
These are my co-hosts. I love them very much.
Hi.
And always am happy they are with me. We got Sean Dolan.
Hello. Yeah, dude, you just disrespected me. You want me to be impassioned about it? Go ahead.
This is true. You should apologize.
Yeah, I can hear the
Absolutely
sarcasm.
not. And then we
got
got...
the whole podcast like this. You're just gonna insult him.
Literally
like,
just ruin the vibes right at the beginning. No, it's cool. I don't care.
All right, well, you got to bleep that.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine.
no, I can. Yeah, I can believe
That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. I didn't know
Delete
Zach
cuss
was...
words out of the
Sorry,
first
I didn't know
10
Zach
minutes
was
of
going to trigger me.
And then we got King of the Coconut himself.
I wish
That
you
was
didn't acknowledge
actually
the coconut.
racist.
I did
know,
it.
it is a
I
little
did,
racist.
I did it to
Yeah,
set you
dude.
up so you could call me
Oh.
racist. We need some
You can go
numbers
to
on
the
this podcast.
coconut. Oh, look at that. Drink the
Nope.
coconut.
See, I didn't do that. That's a whole
You
other
gave
thing.
me... It's a slippery slope. Once you fucking...
Yeah.
Once
He
you...
did it ironically.
Yeah.
He's in the
you.
clear.
We got my other co-host, Ray Reyes, everybody.
Hey. No, you think I'm drinking out of a coconut because I'm Puerto Rican?
Yeah.
I'm partly right, but it's not just because I'm
Yeah.
Puerto Rican. It's because coconuts are good for you.
And
They don't feel
regardless-
a little under the weather, so
Yeah, and regardless if he meant to or not, it certainly it shifted how I viewed the situation. I was like, oh, it must be because he's Puerto Rican, but that's only because he gave me those ideas, Ray. You have to understand.
No, exactly, and you just went off of his racism,
Yeah.
ironically, to make fun of him.
Yeah.
So
And now I'm all
you're-
confused. I'm like, what is... I don't... Is it... What is this?
This is what you want, liberal America.
Confusion?
This confusion. This is what needs to be.
I don't want to have too much coconuts because then I'm Puerto Rican and I'm like, what's my state
He
status?
doesn't even know what to do with himself anymore. This
wait,
white guilt is
can we-
tearing this country apart.
I'm confused, man. I
we
need help.
He just said if I have too many coconuts, I won't be white anymore.
Listen, man.
Maybe.
I'm confused.
Maybe. I think
I
it's-
don't-
yeah.
I'm not a freaking scientist. I'm not an anthropologist. I don't know how this stuff works.
Okay, so today we're talking about Gingerdead Man from 2005.
All right, that was a good cold open, right?
Yeah, that's
Great, yeah. Full Moon
and
Entertainment,
scene.
Talos Entertainment, all the different companies Charles Band has had. Pick a name, you know.
Yeah. And it's easy to call this movie dog shit, but
But
no, that was one. It's easy to call this movie dog shit, but like
Okay.
a butt of dog shit.
Wow. So
It's easy to call it that. I just did it right now twice.
an incredibly fun watch, especially if you got a group of friends together, especially if some of you may be partaking in, edibles or other
Yeah,
mind-altering substances.
yeah.
it's a very good high Christmas movie.
For
Yeah.
sure, yeah. So, Sean, if you want to let the people know, in case they haven't seen this movie in a little
Yeah,
while, give them a little
so-
synopsis.
Listen, do not be sober when you watch this movie. I'm serious, and he's right. Seriously, I wouldn't even. Honestly, it'd be hard to be sober listening to this podcast. you guys.
Yeah, sometimes we're not sober making it.
Yeah.
So
But listen, this movie, for as dog shit as it was, because again, it's easy to call it that. I think there was something there.
Yeah.
I
For
think
sure.
there was something there. And what that was a gingerbread man who was pissed off.
He's pissed.
Because he was...
looked exactly like Gary Busey.
yeah. I'll give you a hint. It was. The movie starts off the exact same as if you've ever seen Jack Frost or just watched our episode where I described that movie. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
Serial killer comes into a diner. He's like, fucking, I'm going to kill people. And he does.
Yeah.
What he doesn't tell you, though, is that he's later going to turn into a gingerbread man. He saves the life of one girl. I don't know why.
Spares her life.
Spares her life. Now, was he sparing her, or did he just, like, miss? Because he did shoot her, didn't he?
Also, that was confusing. Hold on. This movie's filled with a lot of confusion. I just said he spared her life, but he still shoots at her, and he's like, because my mom told me.
Yeah.
Fast forward, we just are under the assumption that he didn't kill her because, lo and behold, she's alive. She's working at a bakery, and they are baking. Which
Her
is what you
family
do.
owns a bakery.
Her family, get this, owns a bakery. A family that has dealt with a lot of trauma. A family that's lost a father and a son. But they have to keep on baking, which is tough when they're missing the most important ingredient, love.
Yeah.
Because and you see how shoddily this place is run.
Yeah.
They get an offer, new place from across the street opens up. It's this billionaire guy. He's like he's mongrel for family restaurants, and he's like, well, howdy, I'm gonna buy your place for $50,000, which in 2005 that was like
Still not a lot of money.
it was not that much.
2005, it was like $50,000.
Okay, do not minimize inflation right now. Okay, no, I'm not gonna stand for that. It was like that would have been like $150,000.
Yeah.
Fucking. You sound like
It's
you
worth so
sound
much
like
more
that.
being-
You sound like that evil cowboy guy.
He's
Wow.
Dev Dividend.
Yeah, and he's like, "Have you met my whore daughter?" And she's like, "Hello, I was voted Miss Pretty Face. Can I suck your cock?" Yeah, I'm sorry, that's not. She
Yeah,
did
come
basically.
on, have a
that
little
was her whole
respect.
thing. That was her whole archetype.
That's true, actually.
Yeah, it was. It really was her. It's just I was Miss Pretty Face of Waco.
Yeah, these
And you're a bunch of pieces of shit.
these characters were characters, and so he gives her that offer, and she comes back in. She's all frustrated. And she goes to her simp friend who was really big into wrestling, and he was like, "Man, I heard that. Don't sell the fucking
And coworker.
place." Oh, and coworker. He's like, "Don't sell the fucking place, man.
Yeah.
Come on."
Did he have a southern accent?
Yeah, a
Yes.
little bit.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. He toned it down a little bit though.
Yeah, he was definitely not pushing it like everybody else.
Well, because
was.
he didn't want to alienate general wrestling audiences.
Yeah,
Coming on too strong.
Great point.
Yeah. Because his whole identity was being a baker, not some southerner.
The butcher baker.
Yeah,
Butcher baker.
Nightmare maker.
And here's the thing. I will be honest, it does come to a point where you're like, maybe they should sell because, the movie begins and he bleeds. The guy, the baker, bleeds all over the dough and the seasoning, which is,
He
you're like,
bleeds into the mysterious package
Yeah.
seasoning that shows
oh,
up.
yes,
that they
that
don't
was delivered.
question.
They don't question
That
it.
is not from their regular
Yep.
distributor and is
Nope.
at the back door from
They
a
just
cloaked
decided to
person.
use it.
Yep, from a cloaked person.
Delivery person.
Delivered from a cloaked person, from just a random person in the middle of day when it's nighttime right now. And I noticed that. I didn't
Such
bring
a
it up.
good film
I was like,
club.
what the fuck? It was jarring. It was the only shot that was during the day.
It's so funny. It's a pickup shot. They could have got that at night anytime. It would
Yeah.
have taken
Yeah.
2 seconds.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
So this movie's ridiculous. They get so, but they're such a good bakery. They deserve this.
Yeah.
Survive. He bleeds all over the thing, and he doesn't even think to check, or if he does, you can clearly see blood, and he's like, "Fuck it, it'll bake out of it." And
Yeah,
they just-
he's like, it gets so hot and it
it gets
killed the
hot.
bacteria.
Now, come on, we were blessed with this random gift. Let's use it.
Yeah,
They should have took the $50,000 because the health inspector is going to shut them down next week anyways.
Yeah. What the fuck?
to be fair, you don't want to come to your boss and be like, "Oh, I blend this stuff." You're like, "I'll just mix it up. I don't want to get in trouble." You know?
No.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's how people die.
Yeah,
That's how you spread diseases.
That's somebody else's problem.
That's a violation. All right, and it's I mean the circumstances that were required for this gingerbread dead man head to get born. I just feel like
you hear a lot of like demonic whispering as it's mixing.
Yeah, but it sounds like the demons had this all according to plan, and then they'll bleed all over it, and then they'll obviously use the seasoning because why not? Right. And then there was and then the thing will shut down and the power explode, which will cause an eruption and cause this guy to come to life. Gary Busey's back, baby.
There's a weird domino effect.
Yeah, it was way too many dominoes. This is not happening, but I guess the gods wanted the gingerbread man to come alive, and I respect his determination.
Yeah, that's how cursed gingerbread seasoning / ashes works.
You're right. I am not familiar.
Yeah.
I'm not well versed. And he comes alive, and he's already he's PO'd.
Yeah.
Mainly at the girl
Not
for
happy.
ratting him out because she gets him killed after he spared her life, which is kind of like,
That's a good
you
point.
scratch my back, I scratch yours, and instead she puts him back into a chair and electrocutes it, and he dies. So I get his frustration, but he does kill other people.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then also doesn't. He takes his time with a lot of these kills. The mom survives. The drunk mom survives after he cuts her
Right.
fingers off. He could have easily killed her, didn't.
Well, he
co-
tried to.
Well,
He
I
threw
mean,
it in, threw it in the oven.
I feel like we throw this around that he could have easily. He's 12 inches tall.
He's having a tough time.
Dude, she was
He's
drunk.
not. He's not.
and passed
She was
out.
drunk.
He tried
and
to
passed
fist
out.
fight a rat.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Yeah.
hold on. But why didn't they go through with that
I don't
fight?
think he was as powerful as we like to believe he was.
I'm gonna go on a tangent because I wish
Yeah.
they showed that fight.
Yeah.
The fight between him and the rat.
Yeah. You know what? You know the rest of the movie if you've seen it. If you haven't seen this movie, just go see it. We don't need to do any more synopsis.
you're
Let's
right.
just jump into it because
Yeah,
I'm
can we
excited.
just-
I'm
let's
excited to talk about it.
Let's just talk
Okay,
about
yeah,
it. It's just-
I
it's-
want to bring up one thing before when she's making him.
yeah.
He hasn't even been cooked yet,
Correct.
and
Yeah.
she's putting gumdrop buttons on him,
Oh yeah, that was a big.
and like chocolate, like those are good. Those are gonna melt.
Yeah, I guess the only other way was he would have had to have like hopped out and then put him on himself.
Yeah.
Like if
No,
she
don't
didn't
defend.
do that.
No, don't.
No, I just mean like in terms of the like.
Oh, that was their
the
biggest
getting
head scratch moment. Hey, how do we get the buttons on them?
Yeah.
Hey, this whole thing makes sense, but how do we get the buttons on 'em? Oh, I guess we're gonna have to compromise a little bit.
Yeah, it's like that part in Alien where they're like, "How does he get in the ship?" They're like, "In the guy." You know. This
Oh
is,
yeah. No, don't. No.
Wait, what was the thing we were? Yeah, okay, that's a good thing to point out. What was the thing we were just about to?
Oh, the rat.
Oh, the rat.
Yeah.
Now here's a question. We talked about our Patreon Terrifier episode. Go check it out if you haven't already seen it.
Yeah.
Our Patreon Terrifier episode, we talked about how there was a rat wrangler, and they brought in somebody, but in these credits they didn't have animal control, animal wrangler, or anything like that. It just says special thanks to Petco. So I think they rented.
bought a random rat from
Oh
Petco.
my God, that
Yeah.
rat wasn't an actor.
multiple rats.
That
So-
rat wasn't a SAG.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my-
this movie's definitely non-union for sure. So that rat got paid scale.
Oh my God.
Damn.
It
I
was
hope they
paid
gave
in
it a home.
cheese. Nah, it's dead.
Ah,
I kind of
it probably is dead. Rats don't live that long, do they?
I know. I don't know.
Dude, this movie was weird, man.
Yeah,
It was a weird movie.
It was a weird movie.
I think it would have been even better though if they could have had he actually fist fights. A
Yeah,
rat.
like
That
they
would've
should have.
been
There was some
exciting.
missed opportunities, I will say.
Yeah.
I think
Funniest
this
part of the
was-
movie, in my opinion.
Well, yes, and that's why I'm
It's
like
so
they
funny.
should have gone. They should have gone in on the weirdness sometimes. Where
Yeah.
I'm like, they like. I mean, look at the way it was laughing and stuff. That was a good performance.
Yeah.
Very
I almost
good.
appreciate that it was like kind of taking itself seriously.
Yeah,
They're like, we're gonna sell you something good.
that's how the stuff winds up being actually funny though, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like when you're acting, they always tell you, don't sell the bit.
Yeah.
The bit sells the bit. You got to be the actor taking it
Mm-hmm.
serious. If you're just like, oh, that's crazy, like it doesn't look real.
You destroy
So,
the bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the actors in this movie. I mean, I will say let's stop for a second because everyone wants to go and talk about the gingerbread man, obviously. Right?
Yeah.
That's where the money's at. That's the main guy.
Sure.
But man, the scenes without him, the
Intense.
Yeah, the human emotions and relationships
Can I say
on
one of mine?
display.
Can I say one of my favorites?
Some
Very
good dialogue.
real.
Yeah.
One of my favorites is after the Gingerdead man has just used a rolling pin to push the pedal of the car
Very
that
intuitive.
yeah of the man who's trying to fuck them out of their business. You know.
Yeah.
He gets the Gingerdead man uses his own car to crush him. You know? And then his daughter runs outside and sees that he's dead, and then she says, "No, Daddy," and then she goes, "I'll always miss you, Daddy," and then she takes his ring off and puts it on hers, and then leaves.
Yeah, and she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna get going, Daddy."
Very touching.
It's you see this kind of internal conflict within her where it's like, man, on one hand, the love and care for her father, but then the weight of the situation and the weight of life after not having that resource pool. It's such a scary, the very nature like pull and attraction she has to her father to like, that's her home. We don't see her mom throughout this whole movie.
No, that's all she has.
That's all she really has. And, so
And her
she
pretty
feels so
face
much-
that she doesn't even know she's about to not be able to use. As
That scene reminded me of Simba finding Mufasa.
Yes. Yes.
Where she's
yes.
like hitting him,
yeah.
and she's like, wake up, wake
then-
up. And I was like, ah.
And then Simba remembers he has a kingdom to run, and so he leaves.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think that
And
scene
takes his father's ring.
takes his father's ring, the lion ring. I remember that movie.
Lion ring.
I remember that movie. And I also and I feel like this movie, it was very similar. I like that you said that because this one was a little bit more impactful just because it's two humans. It's easier for me to relate to them.
Yeah, because you're not a lion. That's a good point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. I like it simple like that.
yeah,
This movie was so much, and like the relationships. This guy walks in at the beginning, and he's like, "Hey man," he's like, "Man, that rich girl, I'm only around her because she likes that I'm trouble, and it gives her this edge to her."
yeah.
And then the other girl, the bakery girl, is like, "Oh, you're whatever," and then he's like, "Wait, so we horny for each other?"
Yeah, dude,
And
they're
then they
so
fucking
horny.
they fall in
Yeah.
love, and then they just fall and they become lovers.
It's funny that he's like she likes me because I'm the bad boy. This bitch was breaking and entering, putting mice in the place, and fighting this girl.
Yeah,
Like,
she was
she's
kind
the
of-
problem. You're fine. You'd probably be in jail less if you didn't hang out with this chick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
He's probably taking the fall for her for
Yeah.
some stuff. You know, she's
That's
like,
probably it.
Yeah.
That's
He's a
probably
bad
it.
guy.
yeah, she's
They're
like making
they
him.
see him and they see her and they're like, oh, it's obviously him. He did it.
Yeah.
Enables. He enables.
he
He's the
enables.
problem.
She's like making him go to like steal makeup from CVS and shit.
Yeah.
Steal makeup, that'll waste so much on your face. What I was
know,
really gonna
yeah.
God damn it.
Dude, I fucking hate washing my makeup off.
All right, let's talk about some stuff in the movie and some of these actors because there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah,
cool
yeah.
stuff. Let's start with Charles Band. His father was a filmmaker.
Now, describe who Charles Band is, though.
What was that?
God.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Charles Band, his father was a filmmaker. They lived in Europe and they had to escape the Nazis. This dude's book is incredible.
Wow. And I actually can see. Does the gingerbread man? Is he
The
like
oven.
Is he a symbol of
I'm
the
not going to say
Holocaust?
it didn't affect his thinking somewhat.
What?
Oh my
But
God.
Charles Band isn't like an icon.
The gingerbread man is what happens when fascism gets left unchecked.
Absolutely.
It's scary, man.
Gingerdead man.
Gingerdead man. Okay.
Jesus.
What is it?
You heard me.
No, but what Charles Band,
Mm-hmm.
he is the director of this movie.
Correct.
Did he also write it?
Yes.
And he-
Wait,
wow.
no. Sorry. He is the producer director.
Whoa.
Charles Band. He actually. So he is an iconic exploitation director and producer.
Okay.
However, when it comes to writing, especially in the last, say, 20 plus years of his career, it's taken a turn. Gingerdead Man, I would say, is enigmatic of the kind of movies he makes now.
That's a big word.
Wow.
Now explain to the audience what that word means.
It's
only the audience.
And only the audience. I think we all know exactly what that word is.
It is because it's like
Audience members out there who don't know what that word
Yes.
means.
And I think Ray's just being enigmatic, if you will, as to the audience's vocabulary.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, it is
I
exemplary.
don't mean to be enigmatic.
It is a prime example of the way in which he now produces and makes movies as compared to the 70s, 80s, and 90s. 90s would have been when it started to take a turn towards
That was like
a little bit.
pre-dynamic
Yeah.
to the enigmatic of his
Holy shit.
career.
So, yeah.
Quite.
Quite.
Do you think that's... We look over, he's got a pipe. He's just trying to sell it. I mean, I know, but if you want to
Sorry,
tell him-
I don't want to like read dramatic at it.
Oh.
I think I have something in my throat.
Oh, my God. So Charles Band is the creator of the horror series Puppet Master, is what he's most well known for in most circles, I would say.
Dude, you guys gotta listen to the credit song. I'm sorry.
dude.
The
It's
credit song is so
fucking
good.
We're
It's
gonna have a
so-
whole segment on the credits song because holy shit. But
Sorry, go ahead.
but he has a book out called Confessions of a Puppet Master. It's incredible. It details his years of filmmaking, but also his life. Everything from when he was a teenager, where him and his friends would go shoot home movies in the neighborhood that had their friends and people in the neighborhood in it, and then they would charge them to come see the movie they were in
Genius.
his
Wow.
dad's like garage or whatever. And when he lived in Italy after they had to escape the Nazis, and him and his friends started an underground nightclub together in the catacombs so that they could make money off that. This dude has been hustling his entire life.
Hustle.
And it
Is he a
seems
hustler even in the movie industry? Is that what he's doing?
100%.
Yeah.
Once he got to the States and he started getting into filmmaking there, he quickly found that the exploitation market was the easiest entry point and climbed his way to the point where he owned a castle.
Holy shit. That's wealth.
It's a really
And
incredible
a castle
story
where?
in Italy.
Oh, okay. I was like, I thought L.A. I was like, the fuck? The
he
Magic
actually-
Castle?
He actually was able to use it partially as a tax credit because he shot a movie there called Castle Freak, which is a fantastic, grotesque horror movie from, I believe, 91.
About a guy who owns a castle.
Yeah. And get this.
Yeah.
He's a little horny.
Oh, dude,
I'm
Castle,
a castle freak.
If you want to
Castle
see
freak.
a
I'm castle freak. Yeah. Castle freak.
you see this?
Castle freak.
You see this?
Yeah.
He's hornier than that. The Castle
my-
Freak
What?
is hornier than that.
Is it
dude.
really?
The Castle Freak is like, I'm gonna fuck all of Italy. He is wild, dude.
Whoa.
It's like
he
the
could just
Diddy
get
of
out.
Italy.
Yeah.
Go ahead
Pretty
and do
much.
the line.
I
I
think
know
so.
you want to do it.
PvP Italy.
Fucking everybody in Italy.
The Duke of Diddley?
The Duke of Italy.
I mean.
Anyway,
I'm a
Charles.
super freak.
There's too much about Charles Band's life to go into because it's truly incredible. But Charles Band and his father Albert Band, who produced all kinds of movies, including once they all started to work together in like the 80s when everything was at its like peak, and he had bought a new production studio. His father helped produce and direct, and he did all kinds of stuff. His brother was also Richard Band was the composer.
He did a lot of the scores. Actually, I knew that.
That's right.
I knew that because I really liked that song. I was looking it up a lot.
Yeah.
But I think Charles Band did the end credit song.
Yeah.
listen to that. Stop the podcast right now. Please listen to it. Apparently, I
Yeah.
can't play it, but I really want to play it right now.
Yeah,
I
it's
can't-
copyrighted.
Oh
Can you
my
tell
God.
them where they can find the song? Because it's not on.
I can't help it.
Stronger.
I can't help it. I can't help it.
Drawing
Okay, do it like 8 more times. I can't help it.
Where can they find the song? It's not on Spotify.
It's not on Spotify anymore. It used to be, but for some reason it's not.
Shame. That's a tragedy.
It is a shame. You can find it on the YouTubes. That's what I
Okay,
did.
yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
also on SoundCloud, but that might be a different version. I didn't watch
Do they
it.
have different versions? Because the credit version is like 8 minutes long.
Yeah. There's a 10-minute version and a 4-minute version on YouTube.
Because the credits of this movie are 10 minutes long, so
Yeah.
it can be called a feature and not a
Yeah.
short film.
It is ridiculous, dude. They did the ending credits with everyone just walking up, like doing their little 2 scenes.
Yeah.
And I was like, this did not earn this sort of
Yeah.
credit sequence. What the fuck?
Yeah.
It was. I listened to that song on the credit song on the way here, actually. Before
Yeah.
this podcast, I was
It's-
trying to get hype.
Dude,
pretty good.
that song got
I
me
think it got
so
me
hyped
fired up.
Yeah.
I texted them right after watching the movie last night. I waited till the last second, and
He always finds one at the last second.
and I was like, "What the fuck is this exit song? What?" I didn't get it. It does not fit the movie
No.
whatsoever.
No.
Not even a little.
But at the same time, I
goes
listened
so
to it and
hard.
I'm like, I think this was made for the movie.
Yeah.
And then Zach confirms that it was indeed made for the movie.
Yeah.
But it sounds like a vampire film or like just an action
Like a
movie
90s
film.
action. It
Yeah,
sounds
yeah.
like a Jean-Claude Van Damme action movie end credit scene from 93.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what it
It's
sounds like.
ridiculous. And then you just see
Because
like,
the Gingerdead man can't help but be a serial killer.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
He can't help it, dude.
He can't help it, dude.
Yeah.
He
He
can't
can't
help
He
it.
had damage to his frontal lobe when he was a kid, and now he's
Mm-hmm.
killing people, you know?
Sad.
Statistically, that's correct, but...
Yeah.
And then Gary Busey can't help but be Gary Busey.
Dude, I cannot wait to tell you. I
Say it right now, then.
I read this book, and by read I mean listened to. I've almost finished it, but I had to fast forward. I'm about 3/4 of the way through the book, but I had to finish. I had to skip to the Gary Busey part just so I could listen to it. Because he's done interviews about this movie where Charles Band talks about how crazy it was to work with Gary Busey, but he also used that as a way to sell the book.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, man, I got to find this. So I found the audiobook, and it's on Spotify. You can check it out. It's so good. But there's the section where he talks about working with Gary Busey. Holy shit. They had him on set for 1 day. And I think they had maybe he did some additional ADR looping at some point. No pickup shots, because the only part of the movie that he's actually in physically is the diner scene. And in their minds, they were like,
I'm sorry to interrupt, but what is a
Go ahead.
pickup shot?
pickup shots would be additional stuff that you didn't get day of.
Oh, okay.
So when they brought in Gary Busey for the diner scene in the beginning, that's the only part he has to physically be there for. And Charles Band's been at this a long time. He knows how to. He's like, we're gonna get those shots done, get him into a studio, get his ADR done. ADR is additional dialogue recorded.
The gingerbread man.
Right. So for the Gingerdead man.
Because he played both.
Yes.
Sorry, Gingerdead
Yes.
man.
And so, and they're like, this will take, probably about a good half a day of shooting. Then we'll get him in to do his dialogue, because it really isn't that much dialogue that he's got to do, right?
Yeah.
It's like 8 lines.
Right. And so, turns out everyone on this that worked on this movie all said the same thing. Is that I have a million stories of Gary Busey, and I met him once. On his rider, he had a thing that said, in my trailer, I would like a basket full of candy. And when they asked what kind of candy, there's a list, and it's all just regular, like, Halloween candy. This dude, it's on his rider. If you're wondering how they got Gary Busey for this movie, this is Gary Busey was in a decline. He had a car accident in '88 where he had some brain damage, and he had slowly been getting worse and worse. I think isn't he on like an episode or in a season of The Apprentice, I believe.
Probably.
I think so. And so his mental decline had been getting worse and worse, and he'd been getting less and less roles. So by the time this movie came around, somebody told Charles Band, hey, you can probably get Gary Busey for like a decent chunk of change, or like a real cheap amount. So he didn't think it would actually work. He sent his agent an offer for $25,000, and he accepted. And he was like, oh my God, we have Gary Busey. And he said, and then, like all deals, if you get too good of a deal, you find out why that deal was too good.
Yeah.
Right.
He sexually harassed every single person on the set, just about.
Oh, okay. Well, at least it was like non-discriminatory.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but don't worry, he was just joking.
Hey, don't, come on, don't. I don't like that. That gives comedy a bad name.
It does.
Which comedians do just fine on their own.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that.
With the
all the
exception
time.
of the three of this table.
Yeah, we don't need Gary Busey stealing bits from us.
I'm surprised he's not on. Surprised he's not on tour right now. You know,
Yeah,
someone we know.
honestly.
Yeah, someone we know would be opening for him. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's
dude.
Gary Busey headlines and for 45 minutes sexually assaults all the audience members. It's a prank. It's
Well,
a joke.
how did he do it? Was he like, hey, give me a bit of brain?
He does a lot of lip licking in the lip licking. Yeah, Jesus.
So when you say everybody, you mean like everybody? Like, you think
A lot
the
of
director
people.
got a little bit? Did he say that? No. Or is that a different
well-
power
well,
dynamic where it's like ooh.
People started to come to the director eventually and say, like, "Hey, man, it's getting a little dicey out there." And then
Yep.
he was.
After one day, what do you mean? Eventually, they're like, it's been 45 minutes. He's
Yeah.
already tried to touch
Yeah.
me twice.
Immediately just saying wild shit. Apparently,
He's got no filter.
he also he refused to do the written dialogue.
Okay. I mean,
It's his only job.
He said, "I'll handle my dialogue. Thank you so much."
oh, wait,
And-
is that when he brought up the mom?
yeah.
That did not. Yeah, they doesn't. There's no reference. He's like,
There's like I believe in the original script there was some referencing of it in terms of like trying to give backstory and maybe a little bit of dialogue, and he took it and ran with it, and they said there was no cut. He just kept going. He goes, "I'm gonna try another one." He would just go, and then he'd go, "Everybody stop," and he would just stop and just start doing push-ups. And so everybody would have to wait.
nice. I could see that. He had a nice pump, I think,
Yeah.
in the final shot.
Now, thank God this is 2005 and the time of digital film, because they didn't have to waste. I mean, could you imagine? Remember on Jack Frost, I said they had to use the ends,
Oh yeah.
where it's like 100 to 300 foot
Yeah.
reels that they had pieced together. You imagine just being the guy that had to put all those together and watching Gary Busey just fucking burn film.
That's right.
He's just like,
dude.
"Don't stop! I'm gonna do some push-ups." It's like, "Fuck, man."
So that means somewhere out there is footage
oh my God.
of Gary Busey being like, "All right, stop, hold on, I got to do some push-ups," and just doing push-ups.
The fact that Charles Band, if you have the digital footage still somewhere, for
You
the
have
love
to
of God,
release that.
Release
That's
the tapes.
hilarious.
Release
It's so
the tapes.
funny.
That's so funny.
you know what? I'm gonna buy the Blu-ray of this. Well, whatever it is that has additional
Wait, what do
footage.
you-
I got to see if there's.
We
like,
gotta
uses
get
on
it.
You
the
did
net.
what to Ray?
I hate you.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, he just left set in the middle of the day. In the middle of filming.
This all happened in a day.
One day.
Jesus
This
Christ.
is just
crazy.
it's just the diner scene. It's the opening of the movie.
Well, I will say though, it's like it is kind of inspirational
Yeah.
because it's like there's so many times where I'm like, man, there's not enough hours in the day. Well, if Gary Busey can sexually harass an entire production team and also leave set, come back,
Yeah.
create his own lines, and waste hours of film.
Then what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah. What
You're
are
you
just
doing?
sitting on your phone scrolling.
Step it up.
Do something with your life. Not that, but something.
Damn, I think you just motivated me, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can get your shit together, dude.
Thanks, man.
Thanks. Me too.
If you don't know Gary Busey's body of work, it's
He'll
a lot.
show you it.
I mean, Gary Busey's in the '76 remake of A Star Is Born, the Silver Bullet, the horror movie from the '80s. I think that was Stephen King, if I'm not mistaken. He's in the Lethal Weapon movies. He's in Sorority Babes and the Slime Bolorama.
Yeah.
Slime Bowl Bolorama. That's it. Yeah, that's another fun movie that Charles Mann produced. That we
And he's
we
got
gotta
range.
cover.
He was also in Gingerdead Man,
Yes.
which is a really good movie.
Did you know Gingerdead Man has a sequel?
Yeah, actually, I did. Dude, I learned a little bit about this movie because
Yeah.
I also saw something about Gingerdead Man versus the Evil Bong.
Yes. Evil Bong is a whole other series from Full Moon Entertainment.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah. I believe one of those has. So they almost all those movies have the main actress in this. which is Robin Sidney is her name. But it also has Darcy the Mail Girl from Last Drive-In, which is a great show on Shudder.
Oh,
that you should check out.
yeah.
The direct sequel to this is Gingerdead Man 2: Passion of the Crust.
Oh, I love that so much.
That's
great.
that's good.
Passion of the Crust is so funny.
It's outstanding.
That's so funny. That's beautiful wordplay.
Should have thought of that.
The third one is, they might have jumped the shark. It's Saturday Night Cleaver, Gingerdead Man 3.
Not as good.
It's a little bit of a stretch.
And then the ultimate mashup of this, which is the Ginger Weed Man, which is the culmination of what happens when an evil bong fights an evil gingerbread man.
Oh, is that what it? Ooh.
It's a little Freddy versus Jason thing
Yes.
going.
Yeah.
Okay.
The writers of this film, it's not their real names.
What?
One of them is.
Did they not want to be associated?
Oh, actually, sorry. This film, it is the actual names of the writers. Other Charles Band movies, sometimes he pays big writers when they just need a little extra cash. They'll come to him and be like, "Hey, man, can I, you got anything you need written?" And he'll go, "Yeah, I got this much." And big time writers, just for fun or for extra cash, sometimes will write him stuff under pen names that they don't want associated with them. And so when there's a lot of Full Moon Entertainment pictures that you'll see the writers' names sound like porn star names, and that's because they're literally just like, "What's my dog's name and street name?" So there's a lot of exploitation credits throughout the years that have that kind of stuff from writers. Yeah, so that's exciting.
That's very exciting. Zach, good job with that one.
Thanks, man.
God, I wonder who like wrote for him. Like that's so fascinating.
Well, the guys that wrote this actually
Harry Cock.
Yeah. It's really just Kevin Williamson.
He's like, "I'm so fucking sick of Scream.
I need to write something else, man.
What do you mean Scream 8? What do you mean?"
Can I just write Killer Bong 3?
That's their way of decompressing.
Yeah.
This was therapeutic, man. Thanks for letting me do
that.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Now I'm gonna go write Final Destination 7.
Yeah, I'm going through a really messy divorce right now, and I needed this actually. I think this movie saved me. Okay. No, genuinely.
So all the characters in these movies they're all named after different bakery things.
Name one.
You know what? I will.
Amos.
Yeah. Amos Cadbury. Cadbury eggs, Famous Amos.
Famous Amos. Holy shit.
Isn't
Yeah,
that
you're
great?
right. You're right. I'm starting to believe you.
Betty Lee is the mom's name.
Yep.
Betty Crocker, Sarah Lee.
Oh yeah.
What's the main girl's name?
The main girl's name is Sarah Lee.
Oh.
It's spelled, however, it's spelled in the way that you can't be sued for copyright.
The oldest trick in the book.
The rich guy with the cowboy hat and the Mustang, right? That guy, Jimmy Dean.
Wow,
See?
wow, that's
Like
not
the
really
sausages?
bakery.
Yeah,
That's not really bakery. But I guess that's the point.
Well, there's
because
those little
he's
sausages, the little biscuits that go with the sausage too. You know?
Good point.
Oh, because
don't say sausages.
he's a meathead.
Yeah, and he's also
Meathead.
because he's also like coming out of that from that industry. And he's kind of like co-opting. He's running him out of business, even though he's just a restaurant guy.
Yeah.
But they also do baked goods, so it's very, that's a really good. It's very insightful by Charles Band to do that. Actually,
And I know that you love love. And
Yes.
you love the connections that happen in movies, and we
yes,
like to talk about the
yes.
things that happen.
Oh, I know this one.
Yeah, so there's
found
actually there's a couple of different ones actually, and this one's exciting.
Who found love?
So the actor that
Played the wrestler
the wrestler guy.
with the coworker girl.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
They
had a horny moment at the end, and then it disappeared right when he turned into the gingerbread man. She got over it. She was like, I was
they
like,
did
I
a
guess they're horny now, and
Right.
then they stopped.
well that horniness
Was
carried
that
over.
improv?
They horny?
The horniness carried over. Not in
That
their-
was authentic horniness?
well,
That
it carried
was-
over professional horniness because they did a softcore together.
They did soft porn together?
Mhm.
Oh.
Holy
Softcore scene together. So
Wow.
that's exciting.
That
But they
is
didn't
really-
end up together like in real life.
No,
Just like,
No, they kept it professional and just stuck to softcore. porn.
but Robin Sidney, who played Sarah Lee, she would of course go on to be in the Evil Bong movies and Ouija's and all the Ouija's is a Ouija board movie. by the same producer.
I bet it's 100 times better than that
Honestly,
piece of shit that we watched.
Oh, so much better. Because they did it the right way. They're like, yeah,
Yeah.
this is going to be silly. Come on.
Yeah.
One of her earliest roles is Drake and Josh, the Christmas movie, and then the show. She's in multiple episodes.
Really?
Yeah.
Who is
Oh,
she?
nice.
That's a great question. Anyway,
So don't come at me with these facts if you're not going to tell me. I want to know now. She's probably some girl Drake dates.
Probably.
I mean, honestly, because I'm thinking of, like the main cast and it doesn't ring a bell. Like,
Well, she can't be a part. If she's only in a couple episodes, then she probably is not part of the main cast.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
well, Robin Sidney
That
would
was
go.
ignorant.
Well, Robin Sidney would go on to help produce Barbie and Kendra, Storm Area 51, and Barbie and Kendra Save the Tiger King. Because during the pandemic, productions were shut down, but she lived with someone who she could just make movies with in-house with friends, because she lived with someone who owned a movie studio, and that person is Charles Band, her husband.
Why did you do that? Oh my God! What a reveal!
I already knew, but I wanted to see.
You wanted that
Oh
ramp
my
up, right?
God.
Yeah.
That was
good.
fun,
It was
right?
Good. It was
You
good.
Thanks.
really lubed me up there. You just started talking about like the
Yeah.
softcore porn, and it turns out it goes so much. There's
So
marriage.
much deeper.
Yeah.
There's real love.
When did
Yeah.
they get married?
Well, so Charles Band in 2004 had been on his last divorce, and technically his last
Yeah,
divorce,
last divorce.
his third marriage, his
Yeah.
last divorce. And
The last divorce.
if you read his book, you can hear all about the wild ride it took to get to that. But newly divorced Charles Band has got his passion project, the Gingerdead Man. He's back to work, and he sees Robin Sidney. She auditions, and he's like, "Where's your Southern accent?" She's like, "Didn't know I needed one." And it leaves and goes and comes back a little bit throughout the film.
Doesn't matter. He loves her.
That's right.
That's
That's
love.
right. But he was professional. She said during the entire shoot, she had the hots for him, but he never was unprofessional. He never said anything that was out of pocket or anything like that. But once they were done filming, he
He immediately
Let me get
showed
that
her his
number.
penis.
yeah, Gary Busey showed up. I need you to talk to Charles for me. So she said that after filming, he was a total gentleman. He had called her and said, "We do have to do a few pickup shots."
Oh,
And-
and pick you up
And he said, but
around 7 p.m. baby.
they hung out that night to discuss the pickup shots and figure out the schedule, and they worked it out. And he brought her a bag of lemons, and he said, "I remember you said you really like lemons, and I have a lemon tree on my property. Here's a bag of lemons." And she said, "That's so nice," and
Why
she
don't you
thought it
come
was
back
so
and
sweet.
Take a look at it.
Yeah, why don't you come look at this tree?
Yeah,
And
pick up
Also,
all
is a
the-
plot of a porn.
yes, the lemonade,
The lemon
or-
girl that comes and steals lemons from some guy's tree, and then he ends up.
That's
fucking
not
her.
the plot. That's a different plot. She was gifted these lemons. Okay.
That's true. There you
Well,
go.
it's similar.
Respectable.
There were lemons involved.
Okay. That's so that now everything has to do with lemons.
It's just what it made me think about.
Okay.
When
well,
life gives you lemons, you don't equate it to other lemons
When
that
life
you
gives you lemons.
pluck.
Yeah, when life gives you lemons, you make a porno.
when life gives you lemons, merry life.
Guys,
Anyway, so they started dating. They dated for almost 20 years. They actually got married last year.
Oh my God.
And Joe Bob Briggs of The Last Drive-In, he actually officiated the wedding.
Aw.
And Darcy the Mail Girl was there, and it was like a real horror wedding, which is real sweet, you know?
That's very
is.
sweet.
Yeah. May you all be so blessed in your lives to meet a 70-year-old director and marry him. Good for you.
he's 70.
I think he's older than that now. I think he might have been that age then. I mean, he's got to be so old, right? I mean, if he was a kid, and if he was a kid post World War II, how old would he have to be?
I don't know.
Can you look up how old he is? Actually, I would like to know.
Please
That.
Google it. And that is cool. You know, that's just some shit
What's
I
his full
do.
name?
Charles Band.
20 years.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
You can never be too sure.
A couple other credits that we have in this film. We have Brick Fields is the guy's name. That's the. I don't know what the brick was supposed to represent baking wise, because Fields is like Mrs. Fields.
He's
right?
72.
Yeah.
72 now.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, so he would
He
have
was
been.
born in 1951,
Oh, so he was only in his 50s then. Okay, that's good.
and his wife is 40.
Yeah, that makes
Robin
sense.
Sidney, right?
Yeah, so Brick Fields, he's been in some stuff though. I mean, he's like, he's not super well known or anything, but he's in Eagle Eye. Okay, pretty good. He's in Gamer. Remember Gamer? You don't remember that? Or the okay. But maybe you'll remember this. He's in A Medea Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah, and some
This
other.
is the cowboy guy?
No, this is the wrestler guy.
Oh.
Yeah. Ryan Locke, the guy that plays Amos Cadbury, the bad boy, he's actually his first film credit. This is wild. His first film credit is Fight Club.
Really?
What?
He's the fake underwear model for Calvin Klein in the Fight Club poster that's on the bus when.
Oh yeah!
when-
Holy shit!
Yeah, Brad Pitt goes. Look
Is
at
that what
that.
a real man looks like?
Is that what a real man looks like? Packing yourself into the gym, all that, like that whole
Yeah.
line. The Calvin Klein ad is that guy's crotch and stomach. Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
What a and it would go on to be
Self-improvement is
self-improvement is self-masturbation. Yeah. It would go on to be his biggest film to date. Sorry. His biggest film to date. And you know what, man? If you can say I was the crotch in Fight Club, then that's good enough, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good.
He did a lot of stuff. He was in American Gun. He was in a Supercross movie. He was in a Beyonce music video. A bunch of the
I'd like to
regular.
imagine Beyonce was watching Fight Club and was like, "Give me that guy."
Give me that guy. Yeah,
Beyonce's really into Fight Club.
everyone stop. Who's dick?
Yeah, whose crotch is that?
Whose crotch is that? I need him in my next music video.
And of course, he made the rounds that everybody makes. NCIS, Law and Order. Just about any actor you look up has done some kind of role on those films. If you're an actor out of work, just show up on one of those sets. Someone will give you a check. Magnum PI, Hawaii Five-0. He's done all the the reboots of those. So yeah, guys been busy, man. Betty Lee is the mom in the film. That's Margaret Bly. She actually has been around a long time. She's in the original Italian Job from 1969.
Oh, okay.
She was on the show Gunsmoke, Perry Mason, a film called Every Crooked Nanny, which I just wrote down because I thought it was a funny name.
That's a good
Every
name.
cooking nanny.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, pretty great.
That's a good
Pretty
name.
great. And Larry Cedar is the guy who played Jimmy Dean. He has 207 movie roles or acting roles. Yeah,
Holy shit! This man's a fucking working actor.
He's
Yeah.
a star.
that dude did not let up. He did. First role was Battlestar Galactica, the original, in 1978.
Holy shit!
He was in the 80s Twilight Zone reboot, not to be confused with the last three after that. Oh, no, sorry. He's in the Twilight Zone movie from the 80s. He's in Chud 2, Bud Chud from 1989.
Okay.
Pocahontas' Revenge in 96, which is a Pocahontas. Or, sorry, Pocahontas. Holy shit. Can we cut that? Nope, we're leaving it.
No, leave it.
He's in Pinocchio's Revenge, not Pocahontas.
No.
I thought a Pocahontas Revenge would be fucking sick. Just
Pocahontas' Revenge
murdered.
would be sick as
Yeah.
hell.
We should make that. Okay. You know what? It's copywritten. We have a tape that says it's our idea.
Yeah,
Can't steal
that's
it.
ours. That's
Fuck
ours.
you.
We
Don't
did
touch it.
Um,
Don't touch it.
oh, and he did voiceover for Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, 3, and 4.
Really?
Yep.
Nice.
I don't know whose voice, but he did it. So that's fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So these
Cool.
people, they weren't some schlubs, they worked
No,
hard.
they were working actors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the blonde problem girl,
Mm-hmm.
the prettiest face in Oklahoma or whatever the fuck.
Waco.
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 Thank you. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
she did not go on to do much, but she did a good job in this movie. She was believably awful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Had a real good Regina George vibe going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Southern Regina George.
This film, some fun facts. The film was originally slated to come out in the summer of 2001. They had already started pre-production, and they had action figures already designs already drawn up and everything. And then, for no really discernible reason other than the fact that I'm gonna guess Charles Band had to restructure his entire production because 2001 would have been right around the time where he went like, we got to start making movies different, you know? Gingerdead Man would be the example of like what the company became. So I would say 2001 was...
Why did I just assume you're talking about 9/11?
Yes. Yeah, can we actually take that back?
Hey, can we cut the part where the gingerbread man blows up a building?
Can we cut the part where Gingerdead Man like takes over a plane?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, listen, I think it's essential to the plot line, but we don't maybe need to see him commit aerial terrorism.
Yeah. Can we cut the part where the gingerbread man blows up the Pentagon? I think
like
this
that was
might
too
be.
much.
Yeah. I think this might be too far.
Yeah, Charles Band just made a Flight 93, but it's Gingerdead Man instead of a fucking terrorist. Feel like bad taste, dude. Production had to stop when a passerby had a heart attack.
Oh.
Yep, they should have pulled a Terrifier and used it. You know, remember when the ambulance goes by in Terrifier and they didn't pay for that? It just worked out.
It just happened. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy had a heart attack and you didn't exploit that moment. Film that man. Work him into the plot.
Yeah, it's the genre name.
Yeah, I feel like that one's a little bit more complicated, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's a man.
Yeah. I probably have to run it by the family. And
Tough
shit.
to get him to sign a release while he's having a heart attack, too. Your arm doesn't work right.
Yeah, dude, come on.
Did he die? Did he die? Or he just had a heart attack?
Oh, they didn't have a follow-up.
Well, they should find out.
If you're out there and you're listening, and you're the guy that had a heart
They probably asked him
attack.
and was like, hey, can we use the footage? And he's like, no. What's wrong with you?
If you
I'm
were
dead.
if you were walking by the set of Gingerdead Man 19 years ago and you had a heart attack, right into the show.
Oh,
Leave a
you know what
comment.
I noticed
Was it 'cause
about
of the
Gingerbread
movie?
Man? They made a joke that we parallel thinking here.
Okay.
They made a joke that we made in Ouija. When they were talking about, because we made that joke about writing the ghost wrote a script, and we're like, oh, that would take so long.
Yeah.
There was a part where she was like, yeah, the ghost had told us, we were playing Ouija, and the ghost had told us that it was a serial killer who chopped up, and it was like a long-winded thing. And the guy was like, the ghost said all of that through a Ouija board? You know how long that would take?
Yeah, and then Amos, and then he goes, you've never even read a book.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
great.
that was
I was
actually
like,
probably
that's
that was the best line.
I was like, that's so vaguely familiar.
So the power does go out at one point, but they did not shoot establishing shots of the bakery
Oh, yeah.
without
Jesus
power,
Christ.
which all you would have to do for that would be shoot 5 seconds of footage, when the bakery's shut down.
You can also
And
fix that
then-
in post by throwing a filter on just the windows.
Sure, yeah. Even in 2005, you could have done that.
You
but,
could have done that. Yeah.
It
It would have been easy. Like, I
Yeah.
could literally fix it myself in 5 minutes.
I think we had After Effects in 05, I forget.
Yeah, more than likely.
Yeah.
I mean, at least Premiere Pro.
Yeah, that would have been version 3 or something at that time.
Yep. They could have done
I
it.
mean, otherwise it would have been prior to effects.
Shout out,
use.
by the way, I always, I spend a lot of time, I watch documentaries. I try to read or listen to books on tape if I can, or whatever, to find out as many fun facts as I can. One thing that is ubiquitous through all of movie fun fact finding, there's always gun guys and car guys that will talk about either what kind of gun and or what kind of cars.
I did that yesterday.
Yeah, and they point out the problems with it. And so somebody brought up the fact that the interior of Jimmy Dean's car is different from like Brick. Is that the guy's? No. Amos's car. So they actually have two different cars there, and one's a Mustang, and the other one is, it doesn't fucking matter. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's a Camaro. And they're like, when they show Gingerdead Man in the car with the rolling pin, he gets in the Mustang, but the interior is a Camaro. So if you're out there and you're one of these people, what are you doing?
Yeah, I get it for like actual movies.
Fucking relax,
this is,
dog.
There's glaring, more obvious. But what are they also gonna? What are the gun guys like? Actually, that revolver fired like 30 times.
I actually said that yesterday.
Yeah, well, yeah, because it's fucking
fired, like,
obviously,
15 times, yeah.
And,
Yeah,
and it feels like a pretty obvious bit
yeah.
in the
Yeah.
movie. Like, but at first you're like, "What are you doing?" It's a 6-shooter.
Yeah.
But when they get to like 30, you're like, "Okay, this is a bit."
This is ridiculous.
Yeah. I like the idea that there are people out there that can see a flash of the interior of a Camaro and go, "That's a Mustang."
Yeah.
That's kind of cool that you have
Mechanics.
that. But to take the time to write it down is
Yeah.
it's a lot.
Ridiculous.
They actually had to learn to bake for. Oh, you okay?
No.
Okay. They did have to learn to bake to do this movie.
Why?
Yeah, it seems like they didn't learn a lot though.
Well, Rob, you
They
tack
put the fucking gumdrops before they cooked
Yeah,
it.
and also all she did was what? Use one of those like cookie cutter things to make the shape of it.
Yeah.
What else?
However, she did it all correctly. It's by the book. If you know anything about baking, which I do not, she said in an interview that she actually had the bakery they shot in actually had her come in and learn how to do everything so that she would be able to operate the machinery because they run the machines in the movie.
All right, I'm being an asshole.
There you go.
I did that. I did that at a pizza. I did that at a pizza place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Use the
and
machine.
what did you? Oh, this is perfect. And what did you put on that pizza and make?
What do you fucking mean? Sauce, cheese, and
No, but remember the one time you put on candy onto the pizza.
oh yeah. So
Yeah. And
Oh, you
and
just-
you
you
put
wanna
it
bring
in
it
the oven, and he's like, you wouldn't put candy on the baking good in the oven, but you did it.
yeah.
Well, it depends on the type of candy though.
Oh, it's,
I mean, probably shouldn't do it at all, right?
yeah.
I think you were still right in your analysis.
No, well,
But-
hold on.
But we have
and I'm
someone who
not.
baked here.
Listen, that was a
Gumdrops.
pizza for me. That was a pizza for me.
You don't serve that to someone.
Yeah, you don't serve that, and if you do, there's got to be afterwards so that the the things aren't just like melted. It did ruin the texture and the consistency of the candy. I will say.
Yeah. Yeah. See.
Also,
Even if it's just aesthetically.
Also, if someone said, name anyone in your life that made a candy pizza, you would be top 5 of that list for sure.
Hey, thank you, man. That means a lot.
Like if you were a pizza, you'd be a candy pizza, I feel like.
Yeah.
For
Aw.
sure, yeah.
I had a manager make a seafood pizza. That was pretty good.
Anchovies? Or?
No, like
Beyond
shrimp
that?
and stuff.
But look at Sean,
Yeah,
candy pizza,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, you got candy pizza vibes.
I do. I
You got real
honestly,
candy
I see
pizza
it.
energy.
I do. Hey, man. I always wanted to try Gushers on my pizza.
What'd you use for the base, Nutella?
Honestly, straight up a regular pizza.
That's gross.
What a wild man, dude. Sean doesn't have rules, man. Sean just,
Nah,
You use tomato sauce as a base, and then you just topped it with candy.
what was I gonna use? Pesto, ranch.
The fuck is wrong with you?
oh my
Jesus Christ! Some Italian guy just fucking shot a hole into his radio listening to us.
All right, good. Now he can't respond.
God. I like that he got this podcast on the radio. That's pretty
Yeah.
sick. you
Yeah.
know?
Well, he's got Bluetooth in his car.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were gonna say he shot himself. I was like, dude, all right, well, that's his fault for overreacting.
Well, he's not gonna shoot himself over it. He's not the one who did it.
Mamma mia.
I live in a world where
Everything-
people put candy on the marinara.
Hey, man, I'm sorry for your loss.
All right. If you
Nah, I'm
think
done.
if you live in Los Angeles and you think you might recognize these locations, that's because they exist. These were not shot on sound stages or anything. These weren't shot on the back lot of Universal. This is shot at El Gallo Bakery and Bender Baking Company in L.A.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then also in Sun Valley, there's the Pink Motel and Cadillac Jack's Diner. So, real places. So if you ever want to go on a Gingerdead Man day, you can go have some baked goods and some diner food at these locations.
Sounds pretty good.
We should do that one day, maybe. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna guess these bakeries might not be around. The Pink Cadillac, I'm almost positive is still there. Or Pink Motel and Cadillac Jack's. Sorry.
Cadillac Jacks.
Yeah. This movie is not rated.
No, why would it be?
They didn't have to.
It's hard to define.
The rating?
Yeah, it's not even. It's not that it's not rated because it's independent. It's just the rating system is just. Like, I don't even know what to do with this.
It's a 10 I'm not sure.
I'm sorry, it's my first day on the job.
Yeah.
He actually didn't show me anything so far.
Yeah. Ratings out of what? 10?
Somebody at the MPAA has no idea what's happening.
PG-13. No, are we going past 10?
Yeah, PG-13. PG-13 out of what? Out of how many letters?
Out of 20? Is
great.
that how far we're going?
Yeah.
It'd be great to just have Sean go in and troll them one day. Well, I think we covered. Is there anything else you guys wanted to cover on there? I think we pretty much
Fucking nailed it.
I think we nailed it.
Banger
Yeah,
of an episode.
straight banger, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great movie. I mean, I honestly learned a lot, again, like I said, about what it means to be a human being.
Yeah, there's some really nice moments.
And I think the biggest takeaway: if life gives you lemons, get married to life.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Now cue Rihanna.
Wow.
We fell in love in a hopeless place. Play that right now. That's what we're gonna go out on.
We can't afford that,
Yeah.
In a hopeless place.
but we can record our own rendition of the end credits of the Gingerdead Man, because that song is incredible.
Yeah.
What's that called again?
I can't help this. I can't help. This is how we close it out.
No, we got to do the thing still.
Oh, the box office budget.
Yep.
There's
But
no
no
way
box
this has a box office.
Of course,
budget.
there's no box office for this.
No box office.
Now, I can attest that I personally made sure that people rented this movie when I had it in my video store.
Okay.
You're part of the problem.
Now, was everybody happy that I suggested it? No.
No.
Couple
I'd
people tried
assume
to
the
fight
majority
you.
weren't. Yeah.
But me and my friends had multiple watch parties for this movie when it came out.
Wow.
We did every weekend, almost every weekend, we would always try to get a couple of really good movies and a couple of really bad movies, and then I'd say, which one do you guys want? And then we'd pick a movie to do like a Mystery Science Theater riff track style thing too.
This is he had multiple watch parties of this movie. This is what they were no better than us before TikTok came around. This is their version of brain rot. He's wasting his time.
Yeah.
off this terrible movie.
But we did it together.
Yeah, that's
You got me there. They're
Yeah.
still a little bit better than us.
true. Yeah. You guys bonded, you know?
A little bit.
I'm
yeah.
by myself while I'm watching anime music videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just as bad, but worse because you're doing it alone.
Because I'm doing it alone. Well, how many people want to throw watch parties for anime music videos?
See?
0.
AMVs.
Because it's a bad idea.
All right, so let's
I'd
round
rather
this out.
watch the anime, dude.
Oh, can I guess first?
Now, well, before we do, clearly
No,
there's
I want to watch clips of Dragon Ball Z to Linkin Park. Is that a
Yeah,
fucking problem?
no, and I get that. I
Gross.
get that. It is a problem for everyone else around you. Though, so.
All right. so there's no box office, obviously,
Yes.
and the budget is not disclosed. We can assume
That it was at least 25,000 because that's how much
At
Gary
least
Busey
25
costs.
Yeah, at least 25,000.
Yeah, the entire budget was just Gary Busey.
I can't help this.
The DVD sales, who knows, but presumably it's done pretty well. Full Moon has its own distribution, and also they have their own streaming service now too that they also work in conjunction with things like Shudder. So
Yeah.
so automatic point for each of those. So you both have 3 points each now. Now here's what
If
we're
you're
gonna
wondering where those other 2 points went, watch the rest of our show.
do. Yeah, watch part 1. What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
So Sean and Ray both have 3 points each.
Trace.
That's carried over from the automatic points you get from Jack Frost, since there's literally no information about Jack Frost. So, and you accidentally saw the scores. So an even time.
I saw fake scores.
Yeah,
I saw something.
you saw something and it upset you. We're going to start with the critic review. Now, I want to say this. There is technically no critic score. There's only 4 reviews. But here's what I'm going to do. We're going to do it this way. There are 4 reviews. How many of them do you think were good versus bad? And that's what will give you your critic score.
2 and 2.
Okay, so you're saying 50%?
I'm gonna say.
Were you gonna say that? I'll go
3 and 1.
Which direction?
Three bad reviews, 1 good review.
That's what I was gonna say.
3
next,
bad, 1 good.
So you want to swap?
No.
25%? So you said 3 bad, 1 good?
3 bad, 1 good. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
that's
and
what he
you're-
said.
okay,
Pay
and-
attention.
Anything.
And you said
50-50.
50-50. Yeah.
You won.
Thank you.
Ah, God damn.
So you got that point. There's still one more point. So
But
it's
then we
actually
just tie, though.
it's actually-
I might as well just give it to him.
Nope.
No. What do you? Come on.
No,
You-
I'm
don't
gonna
forget
take
we
it.
have the
I'm
year
gonna take
roundup.
it.
We're doing.
I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it right now.
Draw is a loss.
Go.
Okay.
Ready?
So there was 3 good ones, 1 bad one. You had it backwards. All right.
Oh wow.
So and of course they're all
Just some
publications.
dude.
Yep.
Some guy with a computer and a website.
Out of 2,500 plus audience score, what do you think the audience gave this?
Who?
Either one of you.
Oh.
Well, I'm thinking you can go first if you got it, but I just want to
I think the audience gave it a 33%.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. This is one of the hardest ones.
It's pretty
Because
tough,
I think
right?
it's like this didn't reach mainstream,
Mm-mm.
so I think that can be a big influence on it. And I think the people that go to this are like, they're like the people like Zach that host watch parties for it, and they're like, you gotta check this out.
Yeah.
And I think that says something. I think it is what it is. It's not a good movie, but I don't think it ever wanted to be. I'll go. You said 31?
33.
33.
33? I'm gonna go the other end just to fucking go there and just say 57.
57. Audience score is 28%.
You motherfucker. I tried to give it the benefit of the doubt. 28% is actually really surprising because it didn't have that many reviews. So
you
even
wanted to
horror
give
fans,
up, but you just
so even
celebrated.
horror
Yeah,
fans,
I know. No,
even horror
I'm
fans
happy.
didn't really fuck with it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh, why do you do this? Why do you...
To be fair though, the Rotten Tomatoes scores came around after Rotten Tomatoes became a more popular thing,
Oh,
right?
true.
And so really, I'm sure if you put this out now, there would be more critical or more audience stuff anyway. So,
Right.
Yeah.
So there, it's only 2,500 plus reviews, and now to be fair, that's pretty bad. 2,500 people, and it still
Yeah.
came out at 28%.
So this isn't like. I mean, it is, I guess, something of a cult, but it's not really. It doesn't really have like a good following of like, people are like, oh no, this one's like a fun watch. Or it does.
It does.
Small,
it
but
does.
it's
It's
small.
just not. Yeah, it's just the people that took the time to rate it didn't
Yeah.
necessarily like it. So,
Okay.
but we had a good time. It was
Yeah,
fun.
no,
It's
it was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, both these movies were a lot of fun.
I like Jack Frost more.
I can't help it.
Dude, if you took Jack Frost and you put that
That
song at
song
the
on
end,
there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the thirsty go stronger. I can't help it.
join the Patreon if you haven't already. We got
Join
great
the
stuff.
fucking Patreon. What are you waiting for?
It's very aggressive.
I'm starting to change now. I can't help it.
Okay, let me do the Patreon pitch. Save it. Hold on, we're almost there. And I promise we'll sing, okay? If you want to join the Patreon, you can join for as low as $3 a month. You can do $5 for video, $3 for audio, and then of course we got the $10 and $15 tiers and up for people who want extra stuff. We put a ton of stuff on there. It's a lot of fun. Join us if you like. You can also join for free. It's really nothing you're going to get, but you can bolster our numbers. Hooray!
I can't.
No, not yet. We got our puzzles that we
Just add
sell
them.
from the show.
Buy Zach's puzzle.
Reasonably Afraid. Stop. Reasonably Afraid. We got the VHS cases we sell these in, which is the MILF Psycho Puzzle, Home is Where the Haunt Is, and more. So you can check all that out on
yeah,
our
they're pretty
store.
I can't.
We're almost there. Anyway, we had so much fun with you guys. Thank you. Make sure you come back for our Christmas episode. We're doing the 50th anniversary of Black Christmas. We'll be doing the original versus the remake, not the 2019 remake. That does not count.
Can't help it.
Not fucking yet. We're so
Oh,
close.
but it will count soon. The 2019 remake. It's just
Yes.
you haven't given it enough time to really let it sit.
Yeah. The Patreon episodes for this month are going to be Strangers, which is for our top tier Patreon member Kelly. Picked that. When you join the Patreon at the top tier level, 15 and up, we let you select a movie that we do for you.
She can't help it.
Nice.
And we'll be doing what's the other one we're doing? We're doing Krampus.
Krampus.
Yeah, and Krampus will be our Christmas
Krampus.
bonus for you
The
guys.
Krampus.
Yeah, you Krampus my style.
Anyway, that's it. Sean, hit it.
Yeah, I can't help it.
Don't have some name.
I can't help it.
The vision's on clear.
I can't help it.
Bone go stronger.
I can't help it. You should see that I'm naked right now.
Man getting bit by an alligator screaming.